Let's be real. Most people don't have a strategy problem. They have an excuse problem. And today's guest has spent nearly 3 decades helping leaders break through that and perform at a higher level in life, business, and faith. I've got Mr. U with me, high performance coach, founder of the Everyday Edge community, and host of multiple top ranked podcasts. And this is the Builder's Edge, where we help you think bigger, move smarter, and build businesses and life that actually works.
No more burnout, no more fear. We'll build it strong, make it clear. Not just a grind, but a dream that's true. Building a business that works for you.
Let's get into it. Welcome, Mr. U.
Thank you for having me on the Builder's Edge. I'm excited.
All right.
Let's go. This is fun.
Let's do it. Okay. Identity question. You talk a lot about removing excuses. What's the real excuse high performers are hiding behind?
I think one of the biggest excuses that high performers are hiding behind is kind of a weird one. They think they can do it all by themselves because they move on adrenaline. They move on this mindset. You know what? If it doesn't get done, I have to do it. And I think it's an excuse because that allowed them to stay in control and not relinquish some of that to people who can help them to move further down the success journey than they already are. So they say, you know what? I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to outsource that. I don't have time to get into a mastermind. I don't have time to do this. I have to do all this work because if I don't do it, it won't get done. It's one of the worst excuses I've ever seen in high performance. In myself included, so.
Okay. Time. Time is the excuse or hiding behind the excuse that I have to do everything.
Yeah.
Or both.
Time and control.
Oh, control. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can you give us an example of someone you've coached who was stuck in that exact excuse and how that broke free for them?
Yes, me.
Okay.
I can't do better than that.
No, we can't. That's an experience.
Yeah. Honestly, I've always been a hard charger. Ever since I was a young tyke, I was a hard charger. And for me, once I gave myself to entrepreneurship, which I fought off for a long period of time. My mother is from the Virgin Islands, so her mindset and her work ethic is different. It's not entrepreneurial as much as it is, do the hard work, the traditional way that we do it in our country, and you have a great job and a great life and a great family, a house and a white picket fence, that kind of thing. So for me, I broke away from that. When I got entrepreneurship, I really felt like, you know what? I had to do it all myself. Nobody really told me that. I picked up on little things here and there, but I decided in my own mind, you know what? If I don't do this, it's not going to get done. So I burned the candle at both ends. I stressed out my family and my wife and children because I thought, you know what? I got to put in these long hours, 18-hour days, literally almost 7 days a week to try to build something. I said, I felt like only I can build it because who else understands what's going on in this brain but me? But it was really a myth. It was a way to be in business and entrepreneurship and still be isolated. And it was damaging in ways that I can't really fully explain to everyone here that's watching and listening today. But I was that person, and I got free because I saw that the stress it was causing to my family and to my marriage, to my life, and to important relationships that I had. And I had to decide, is this dream bigger than all these people in your life? Is this dream bigger than your mental health and your physical health? I had several health crises, and it was because I was stressed and working so hard, not resting, not eating well. Was it worth it? Is the dream worth that? When the answer out of me was no, that's when I pivoted. When I realized it was not worth all of those things. So that's when I pivoted.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of listeners here today that are on that edge, on that verge of feeling the same way. Like, they're going home and husband or wife is, where have you been? You missed everything. Yeah. A lot. And you said, we don't even take care of our health. They're grabbing something to eat at a, fast food because, They only pack, one lunch maybe, or, just not eating well, not taking care of themselves for sure. You've worked with leaders for decades now. You're about 30 years in. What's the difference between someone who burns out and someone who finds their edge again?
I think the difference is uh, self-assessment, self-awareness. The people that
Okay.
I've noticed that have experienced burnt out, the majority of the time, they don't even realize that it's happened already. They already seen the impact of it. It's already happened. They can't even try to stave it off. It's already happened because they haven't been aware. They don't take time to assess. Again, hard charging mentality, high performance mentality. I got all these things, these people that I'm responsible for, all these tasks and roles and responsibilities that only me can solve and fix that sit on my desk. I have to do this. And they don't realize that, you know what? You got to take some time. And I learned this less than 3 years ago, so I'm not even being hypocritical about this. I learned this recently. I didn't know this, that you got to take time for yourself. You got to guard and protect your mental health because it's more important. When you lose that, nothing you do is worth any while. When you lost your mental health, you lost your emotional health. So I had to understand that. And I think the difference in your question, which is a great question, by the way, Deanna, and the difference is that is a lack of self-awareness. They don't have anybody to bring clarity and accountability in their life. Again, it's
Yeah.
solo artists, free agents. You don't
Right.
have you have a community, you don't have accountability like you and I do, and they just keep on rolling and doing stuff and don't realize, you know what? You're almost over the burnt out cliff. And before you realize it, you're already halfway over before you realize, you know what? You've done too much.
Yeah.
You've gone too far. Yeah,
Yeah, I think there is a fine. I mean, there's a difference between burnout and exhausted or tired.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What are some specific signs, or how can we assess that burnout, whether it's burnout or just dead tired?
I think burnout kind of comes with a little tinge of depression. It also comes with a frustration with purpose in life because some people don't take the time to assess why am I here? Why am I the why behind what I'm doing and all the hours I'm putting in? And also burnout also comes with uh almost a feeling like or just a decision like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just gonna just quit altogether because I don't have the I don't have the emotional capacity or the bandwidth to do this anymore. And I think that
Yeah.
it definitely I've had exhaustion where I've
Right.
literally just passed out. I couldn't do
Entrepreneurs do.
anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. But after I rested, I went back to work. So that's different. With burnout, you never go back the same. You
Okay.
can't be in burnout and then go back to what you were doing it at the level you were doing it. Something changes. Just an intensity level that goes down. There is a lack of clarity. You don't see the work the same way anymore. You don't see it as valuable perhaps anymore. You don't see even when you are in the whole thing, how much you've lost, how much you've invested physically, emotionally, psychologically. You don't see it because if you just like, you know what, I tried to do this, it didn't work. Now what am I? Who am I? So
Yeah.
those are two
It's
distinct differences there.
Yeah, it's kind of like you come to a point to where maybe as an old saying goes, you can't see the forest for the trees.
Oh yeah, that's
Like
it.
all the trees are, gotten in front of your purpose, or
Hmm.
gotten in between you and your purpose and your mission.
Right.
That's good.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. So, are there small daily practices that you've seen consistently prevent that burnout long before it ever even happens? I think we got frozen up.
Just a
There
little
we go.
bit.
There we go. Okay. Are there small daily practices that you've seen that consistently prevent burnout before it ever starts?
I try to deal with some of those things through our coaching. Great question again. I think one of the things is taking the time to assess. I've discovered, and I don't mean this in a hokey way, but I've discovered meditation, not in a way that you might normally see that. Taking the time to actually legitimately just sit in the place that I'm in, whether it's in my office, in my car, wherever it is, and just ponder all that's going on. Ponder how I'm feeling, being in touch with what I'm dealing with, what I'm thinking about too much, what I'm not thinking about enough. And honestly, it really is, and it's not some kind of, I'm not trying to be spiritually or hokey. It's not that. It's just a
That-
time of just assessing where I am.
yeah.
What am I doing? how's this going? You know what I'm saying? And looking at everything. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't been doing it very, very long. I know a lot of folks are further along than I am, and they've been doing it for a long time, for years.
Yeah.
Being honest, not me. It's been about 6 months. And
Okay.
it's been a blessing to me. I'm realizing, you know what? Wait a minute. That idea you get ready to embark on, it doesn't even align with your values. And I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't stopped to take
Oh,
time
good
to
point.
assess. But meditation is key for me in that regard. And just making sure I monitor where I am and building a system. This is just something I'm just doing. I do teach this a little further down our coaching journey with a potential client, is taking time to build a system that protects you as a coach or business leader from being in a place where you're just doing so much, trying to serve so many without a number, without a cap on it, that you find yourself overstretched. And now you're over delivering, which is over promising and under delivering, and you can't do it.
Ooh,
So,
yeah. Nothing
those are
hurts
kind
the
of things.
business any worse than that.
You betcha. So those are the kind of things I have in place, amongst some other coaching techniques, but those are some of the main things that I'm doing for sure.
I think something that is always very important now, and I think it helps us to kind of stay a little grounded when we're trying to do those assessments. I think if we pause for, every time that we kind of want to, think of what's stressing us out, we need to think about 2 or 3 things that we're still grateful for. And
I
then
like
I
that. I
think,
like it.
yeah, I think then our minds are at a better place to maybe, like you said, think about on some things. I've read several, books and things that they say, high performers make quick decisions, but I think they have developed great decision making uh, uh, talents or abilities. They've worked that out to because I think we do have to think about something for a little bit, especially just getting started out in our entrepreneurial journey. We need to we don't need to think it to death. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but we do need that moment. Yeah, so that
we do.
probably would have helped me a time or two. Thanks for that. If I'd have just paused and said,
Same
okay,
here. Me too. Me too.
yeah. Is this going to is this going to align with my purpose, where I want to go with me and my clients and my business and my family? Or is this taking me way out in left field? Good point.
No, totally, totally. There's an ancient wisdom attached to that. Said before you try to build this tower, count the cost. Make sure you have enough supplies, enough resources, enough human support to not only start but finish this endeavor. If you don't have enough to start it, don't even start it.
Yeah,
You
you
don't
definitely
have
won't
enough to
have enough
finish
to
it.
finish. Yeah.
If you don't have enough to finish it, don't start it. And so I look at that in life in every area. Big project coming. Do I have the capacity to handle this? What's it going to cost me in time? Will my
Yeah.
family suffer? And if they are, how much are they going to suffer? How much do I suffer mentally and physically and psychologically if I say yes to this? So I'm learning how to say no in this season. No is a
Yeah.
complete sentence for me. I'm like, the answer is no. If it doesn't align, I think I shared this with you. I think you were there as well in our Everyday Edge think tank. I was
Yes.
saying, if you see something that's not aligned with your values, this should not be a hard decision for you to make. This should be one of those quick decisions. The answer is no. It's not good. It could be
Yeah.
great. As a matter of fact, it could even change the world. Doesn't mean you got to be a part of it. Doesn't mean you got to spearhead it or be a
Right.
partner with it. If it
Right.
doesn't align with your values, the time you're given it's to your detriment.
Yeah.
The answer is no. Great idea, great proposal, great people you probably be working with, but the answer is no because it does not align with Deanna's values. So you can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in my business, my uh, building and remodeling business, I had a friend that, well, I guess I don't know, not still a friend today. I don't know, but
Oh, okay.
anyway, had asked me would I give an estimate to turn into an insurance company, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, you're asking the wrong person for that. So yeah, you need to say no. There need to be times that you say no, not just for that kind of reason, but sometimes there's that client out there that you can just tell they're not going to align with you. You're not.
Oh, yeah.
And although it hurts and you need the work so bad, it always comes back, bites you in the behind every
No, it
time. You
does.
just
Every
need to
time.
follow every time. You just need to follow through with that no. and stand on it, like you say. Let that be the whole sentence. You're right.
The
No.
whole sentence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. You've had moments where in your life could have ended. How did that shift the way you show up today?
Ooh, I've had quite a few of those what I'll call near death experiences, and one thing they all have in common is that they were. I'm not saying this was God giving me a reminder. That's not where I'm going with this statement, but I am saying that they were all great reminders of the brevity of life. And I know we have a calendar, especially entrepreneurs. We got stuff planned out. Some of us go into months from now, a year from now. We're planning out 2028. I'm like, we're not done with 26 yet. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we do that, and a lot of people in general, we grab that calendar and we start marking this stuff off. We're going on a cruise next year in June. We already got it set up with the travel agent. We're going on this flight. Going to visit family next Christmas, and we got all these things planned out. But nothing about life is guaranteed. And those experiences reminded me, you know what? You can plan it. Nothing wrong with planning.
Go right in.
But just don't get angry at God when your situation changes and you find that you can't make those dates and you can't be at those places that you plan to, because life has a way of changing when you least expect it. And those experiences were big reminders. You know what? Every single day I gotta live this thing like it's my last. So I adopted. Uh, it's not a mentality that I share with everybody. I'm just sharing with you today. This is the first time I've been sharing it anyways. I look at every 24 hours rather than a week and a month down the line.
Uh-huh.
Look at every 24 hours. How did I spend this 24 that I was given? Did I do everything in alignment with my values? Is it something that was good, that benefited me? Did I serve the interests of others during that time? Or did I waste my time and my abilities by maybe perhaps watching something on television instead of finishing a task or a project, or
Yeah.
spending time talking on the phone with somebody on social media, or doom scrolling where I should have been helping to build what I believe was a God-given project? So I'm looking at things in terms of 24 hours. Those experiences taught me that, if nothing else,
Wow.
work with what you actually have. 24 hours. Tomorrow takes care of itself. The 24 hours you have right now, work with those. What are you doing? Does it matter? Is it relevant? Is it fruitful? Does it benefit other people? Those kind of things. So the 24 hours has been my new rule since I've been dealing with those kind of experiences.
Wonderful. Okay. Was there a single turning point, a moment where you realized life would never be the same if you didn't change?
Those experiences helped out big time in that regard. Because
I bet.
when you're looking at death in the face, you kind of realize, you know what? If you're going to still be here, make it count.
Yeah.
I think I watched people who are further down the journey than I was, that didn't have some of the things that I'm teaching and things that I'm doing in my coaching practice. I'm like, wow, how you guys should know that. If anybody else should know, you should know it before anybody else, because you've been doing it for so long. And they find themselves burnt out. They find themselves frustrated. They find themselves isolating, and they find themselves in places that have nothing to do with their dream and their goal. And I watched that stuff from a distance, and I'm like, wow, thanks for the cautionary tale. I hate that it happened to you, but those are big turning points for me. Saying, you know what, I gotta pay attention to what's going on around me and not ignore it because I'm in some kind of bubble somewhere. Pay attention to what's happening. There's so many indicators and warning signs and learning lessons that happen all around us. And I watch those, and for me, those are turning points. I say, you know what? That's an example of what I don't want to become. That's where I don't want my life to be. And it kind of teaches a very valuable lesson. Don't follow anybody who's not where you want them to be, where you want to be yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how far down the journey they are. Make sure that if they don't have the life that you want, you don't have to walk the path that they're walking there.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. What does this transformational builder actually look like in real life, not in theory?
Great question. I love it. The transmissional builder. I think for me, I call them multipliers. And that's why I invite to come on all shows and everything. I want somebody who has that kind of mindset. If your goal is to build your own empire, there are plenty of podcasts and people who you can go to for that. I see them usually right before they even get to the gate. I can spot them a mile away. No offense, but that's not who I'm speaking to. And that's not who I'm trying to introduce to my audience. I want people who their life, their goal, their interest, it serves the interest of other people. It's always about building the capacity of other people. Everything that they do, open doors that other people can be able to grow and be intentional and to accomplish some things. And they open doors for folks. My wife and I, one thing that I love about us, much I love about, we have a 30-year relationship.
That's wonderful.
And what I love about us is that we're connectors. And I mean, I don't care who we're talking to. I don't care where we are in the world.
Yeah.
We know somebody probably who can help them with something. I don't care if it's how to farm, how to grow vegetables and fruits. I don't care if it's somebody who needs to be in the community like Everyday Edge, who needs to find that kind of family of entrepreneurs and business leaders and clarity and support, ongoing support and accountability. Or somebody who needs to have their printer fixed, or somebody who needs to have their roof redone. We know somebody who can do something. And I take real pride in that. I think my wife and I both do. Because we recognize, you know what, we're here for a finite amount of time. And if we can help somebody get a leg up, we can help somebody take a step in the right direction, make their lives, their quality of life better through connection, why wouldn't you want to do that? So for me, it's like, it's our everyday life. And I think, hope it answers the question, because it's kind of that's how I would answer it.
It does. That's transformational. You're transforming the world around you. It's a perfect answer. Yeah, that's great. I love it. Okay. Okay, let's talk about some hard truth here too. So what's something people say they want, but their habits prove that it's different. They don't.
Oh my goodness. Where do I begin with that one? We can stay on business. I mean, but I think the biggest thing I could say to answer that question, Deanna, is they would say they want to have freedom.
Yeah.
But they find so many different ways to enslave themselves all over again. They find little things to add to their life that hold them down and hold them back. They bring certain kind of people in their life from their past who have shown you historically that they're not trustworthy, they are flighty, they are not consistent, and we let them go, and then we bring them right back. We open the door back to them again, wide open. And you wonder why you have so many spiritual and emotional issues in your life and in your house, because you bring these people back into your life. They say they want to be free, but they don't want to do the kind of work that allow you to be free. Entrepreneurs it can also be good for that sometimes. No offense to the entrepreneurs out here, but Deanna said hard truths, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
For myself and for everybody else. We talk about wanting to have freedom, but we don't do the work. I have a good buddy of mine. He works some long hours. He has multiple podcasts, and this is what he does. He doesn't do anything else. He's monetized the whole 9 yards. All he does is podcasts. I think he has 10 shows. That's all he does.
10 shows. Wow.
Yeah. The man, he works like he falls asleep at his desk routinely. Good friend of mine, and I want him to have rest and spend time with his family. I think he understands the balance of that, but he works long hours. And I mean, you may not want to take that approach. There's some things about that I don't want to do specifically, but he's somebody who wants to be free, and his actions show it. When I talk to entrepreneurs who say, I want to be free, but they're not, if I say, you know what, only time I have in my schedule to talk to you or have a session with you is 7 a.m. on a Monday morning, guess what? They flinch. They blink. In a game of chicken, they swerve to the right. Because they want to be free, but not to the extent that it's going to cost them something. They want free, almost like free food.
Yeah.
Give me this for free. There's such thing as a free lunch. That's what somebody told me a long time ago.
Yes.
And for me, entrepreneurship requires work. So to answer your question, I really feel like one of the things that people say they want is to be free, but they don't get up early. Their day starts at 11 o'clock. Yeah. And then they stay up to all hours of the night, binge watching something, and their dream is not worth working on, but that's what they say they want to have. So those are the kind of things that I see very often. I don't know if you do too, but everybody says they're entrepreneur is not an entrepreneur. They don't really mean it, and they're not really invested in it.
That's too bad. That's too bad.
It's true though.
Yeah. Why do you believe people are struggling more alone today, and how does community, you have a community you mentioned. How does community actually fix that?
Well, I won't sound heavy-handed. I'm really, really biased about our community. I built it not because I wanted to have one like everybody else, because there's so many of them out there. Trust
So
me, there's
many of them.
plenty. But I built this as a response to the things that I was hearing from friends, family, friends partners in my business circle, and just overall connections. They would talk about how they didn't have an authentic community. There was not ongoing support. It was like, come in and do this for me, buy into this event, do this, and that was the extent of the support that the community
Yeah.
leaders would give. And I heard that for about 3 years.
Mm.
And I thought about it, prayed about it. I didn't think about myself doing that whatsoever. I tried a private Facebook group and I hated what was going on with it. So I killed it. I pulled the plug on it. But this was something that I really believed was God given. I would not even, if anybody that knows me knows, I don't waste my time. I'm not going to build a community if I didn't think it was something that was a lot bigger than me, a higher calling, if you will. I would not waste my time building it.
It takes a lot of time to do it right. Yeah.
I really believe it was a response to the cries of the people who said they want authentic community, they want ongoing support, they want a place where they can be accountable, where they can grow in a group coaching environment and help sharpen each other like iron sharpens iron, and help each other regain their edge, whether it be in their marriages, whether it be in their relationships with other people, whether it be business relationships or business context with their entrepreneurship ventures, whatever it is, we're going to help them grow in those personal and spiritual growth areas. So that's why I built it. I feel like it eliminates all the excuses.
Yeah.
Because you got to stay solo, alone, in isolation. Those are excuses. You're saying, you know what? Nobody can help you, but you don't even give yourself enough. You don't even bet on yourself enough to say, you know what? I need to venture out of my comfort zone and let somebody look at my situation with an unbiased look and help me make some decisions that can change my life. So those are just excuses. Isolation is an excuse. We go there because we're quitting. We're quitting on ourselves. We're quitting on our dream, and we're giving up on who we're supposed to be, purpose-wise. So community like ours and some other ones that we are part of, they remove all the excuses. And you can get so much out of it if you are willing to invest some of yourself into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. If you have the best question, I think, to ask a community is, hey, do you, if somebody's not active in your community, do you, is there a time you kick them out? And I think that's a good question to ask.
I don't know.
Because that way you have people in there that are active. You've got an active working community, I think. So
yeah.
Anyway, not like kick them out, but ask them, say, hey, let's get active. Let's get.
Yeah, I would ask first. I mean, life happens, and sometimes people got to take a break. They got to take a pause a little bit. I get that part. Yeah. I'm definitely going to ask after a certain amount of time. I care enough to say, you know what? How things going? Let's jump on a call. Are you doing so bad that you just can't? You don't want to be here anymore, or just a little short respite to deal with the personal stuff, and then you come back and become a part of the community again. So I'd rather ask that before I quote unquote pull the plug on them. I'd rather ask that. Yeah, I've done that before, but in this group, this is so brand new. I haven't had the chance to do that yet. So hopefully I won't have to. Everybody,
no, you probably won't.
I hope not.
Yeah. Probably, especially holding everybody accountable. They'll be letting you know instead of just disappearing.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yes. So. Okay. In your experience, what matters more, discipline or purpose, and why?
More? Oh, that's hard to pick between those two. I need them both.
I know they're both important, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great question, between discipline and purpose. I guess purpose only because purpose represents the why.
Yeah.
Of what you're doing. Yeah. Discipline is more about the what.
How.
And there's a lot of folks that are living in the disciplines. They do that. They go running at a certain time every day. There's certain things that they only put in their smoothies, and it's all that they drink. Their meals look a certain kind of way. But, without the why, it's just it's a pointless exercise. It's a pointless dieting system. There's just no point to it out of context of a reason why. So in this case, I'm going to get the slight edge to discipline, purpose in this situation over discipline.
Yeah,
in this
just
one.
barely. Just a
Yeah,
little bit, right?
just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, well, if someone has lost their purpose along the way, how do you reel that back in? How do you get them to get back on the momentum of purpose?
Hmm. I could give a pat answer here, but there's a lot of things that I ask about, an approach that I'll take when I have one-to-one calls to people that have these kind of queries. But just as a general statement, I'm asking a lot of questions, and I have to. I can give out a nice quote or this nice catchphrase, a tagline, but I'm just not at that place in my life as a coach, mentor, minister, where all the things that I do. I'm not at that place. I'm asking a lot of questions because I want to, not because I'm a fan of crime dramas, I am, but I want to investigate. I want to understand why we're here. Because if I don't find that out, we're going to compound this problem and you're doomed to repeat it at some point down the line. And you're probably going to pass it on generationally too because it hasn't been identified as a problem. So you're going to teach it indirectly to your children and your children's children. So I want to find out what it is, how we get here. Why are you struggling with purpose? Who do you think you are? Who told you were this? You know what I'm saying? And then work through that kind of stuff and then, dispel the lies. There are definitely lies involved in that. Dispel what the lies are. And
Yeah,
let's see what the truth of the
we don't
matter.
feel like they're lies. They're just stories that we make up that we tell ourselves. You know what I mean? We're not thinking that, this is a
Mhm.
lie. But, when we look at it on the outside looking in, like, yeah, I'm probably making that up. That's probably not a real thing. you know? Yeah.
Ain't real thing at
Wow,
all.
that's a good
Absolutely.
point. Yeah, until we identify those bad behaviors and actually, found the root of them, you can't even think about changing them because they've been around you forever.
Yeah. I mean, you ever see somebody who had, I know folks who are like this, so hopefully they're not watching it, think I'm talking about them or not. This is just a general statement. If you see somebody who has the house on the outside, it's gorgeous. Talk about the white picket fence, fresh paint, the grass is green, flowers, it's all landscape, perfectly curated gorgeously.
Yeah.
But inside of their house, there's like a bomb blew up.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We're more concerned about how it looks on the outside to people. We want to do the work inside that really matters. Pick up the vacuum, clean the cobwebs from the corners, get that
Yeah.
stuff out of the closet. You know, when a dignitary comes over to your house, it don't have to be a king or a queen. It could be a parent, a loved one, or a high school friend. Everything goes inside that one closet because it's the fastest way to get rid of the things you don't want them to see because it's going to embarrass you. So you put it
Wow.
all inside the closet. But the reality is, it's still here in the house. And when they leave, you're going to put it back out where it was. You didn't really
Yeah.
change it. You just momentarily reshuffled the problems in life as opposed to dealing with them. So why do you have this stuff? Why is it here? Why are you holding on to it? What are you afraid of by letting it go? So that's kind of what I think you're talking about.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. Okay, if somebody's listening and they feel stuck, what's the one decision they need to make today to change everything?
Great question. I like it. If you're stuck right now, you're watching and listening to Deanna's show and you're stuck right now, listen
What's
to
the
the builder's
first
edge and
real
you're stuck.
step? What
What's
they
the
need
very first thing you're going to do? I really feel like the very first thing you should do, especially in this context, since we are on the builder's edge and you're here, reach out to Deanna. We don't know who she knows and who she may get you in contact with me or somebody else she knows that may fit the profile for what you need. But reach out and say, you know what, I need help. I don't know what happened to our world when we got to the place where that is a stigma now, where you can't do that anymore. I
Yeah,
know some people do that with bad intentions and they have deception on their mind to try to get something from somebody. I'm not talking about those folks.
sure. Yeah,
They're not who we're talking about. They're not worth our
right.
time. But the people who really need help, when did it become a thing when we can't ask for that anymore? So
Yeah,
if you feel like you're stuck, and even if you don't think it's a big deal, long term, it could be a big deal. If you've been stuck for 5 years, that's a big deal. If you've been stuck for a year, that's really a big deal. I
yeah.
regret the years that I lost when I was stuck and didn't reach out to say anything. Because I'm
Mhm.
sitting here 30 years into a coaching profession, if you will, where I'm learning these things that really should be elementary. I'm learning them right now within the past 16 months or so, all because I didn't ask for help. when I knew I was
Yeah.
stuck. I was on
Yeah.
call today with a mutual friend of ours, and he's going to help me out with something that I've been shadow boxing with for 3 years. No,
Wow.
5
Yeah.
years since I started podcasting. And I'm like, I just don't want to do that stuff because the stigma of it gives me an icky feeling. I don't want to do it. And now you're going to help me do it the right way where I don't have to deal with that kind of stuff and deal with the reality of what's going to help me do. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all because I said, you know what? I need help. It's been 5 years. I don't know how to do this. I know I need to further my business, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
When did we get to the place where we can't ask for help anymore? When did that happen? When did that start happening?
I don't
So
know. There was a
ask,
point where we all thought we had to do everything ourselves. We had to figure it out all of ourselves, and I don't know.
I
I don't
pray that
know.
somebody who is stuck, who's watching, listening to this, will reach out to you. It doesn't mean
Yeah,
that you
for
have the
you.
answer, but you might know somebody who has the answer. Reach out to me.
Yeah.
Because if I don't know the answer myself, I'm happy to give you to somebody who does that
Yes.
I know. I ain't trying to solve all the
Absolutely.
problems in the world, but
No.
I can help out with a lot of stuff. But I know somebody who can do the things that I don't have the capacity to do. So if
Yes.
you're stuck and you're watching the Builder as right now and you're listening to this,
Yeah.
between the
Reach
two
out
of us,
to us.
we know somebody who can give you some answers and put you on the right path to getting some clarity and some accountability and some ongoing support. Somebody give you an ear to kind of hear what you're saying and what you're dealing with, and perhaps come up with a solution that works. So
Yeah. Wow. What a great conversation.
thank you so much. I
Uh,
appreciate this time.
yeah. And if something in this episode hit you, don't just let it sit. Take action on it. Move today. And if you want more from Mr. Yu, tell them how they can get in touch with you and work with you and connect.
Oh, in so many ways. I'll leave some stuff in the show notes for you, but if you
Okay.
find me on social media, by all means, most of my profiles have my info in it. How you can find me, how you can be guested on our shows, or if you have a desire for coaching on a bit of a higher level, I can assist you with that for sure. Or if you just want to have a free strategy call, kind of just walk through some things you think are a challenge that was keeping you kind of stuck. I'm happy to help out in all those phases and then some. So I'll give you all the show notes and everything, and we can kind of make that happen for you guys. So
Okay. And
look forward to hearing from you.
where will they find your community? It is the uh,
Everyday Edge community.
Everyday Edge
Yeah.
community. Where do they find it? EDE is how
Yeah,
I know it.
yeah. No, that's right. That's what I call it. So
Uh-huh.
that link's going to be in show notes as well, of course, on all of our social media platforms, specifically our Facebook page, LinkedIn, and I believe Instagram as well has it as well. But it's everywhere now. But I'll make sure you have it in your show notes too.
Great, thanks. Okay, now listeners, if you're a contractor or business owner listening to this and you're wondering why you're not getting found online, why you're not showing up locally, or why your competitors are getting the calls, I want you to go take my free AI visibility scorecard. This is going to show you exactly where you're missing opportunities, why you're not being found, and give you a step-by-step blueprint to fix it yourself. You can find these links right here, like you said in the description, or you can go to ai-visibility-fix.com. And listen, this is the Builder's Edge. This is more than a podcast. This is your platform. Your voice matters. So make sure you subscribe. And if this episode helped you, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. And let's keep building together. Thank you.